And then let's go into who Sinner might face in this other semifinal. Novak Djokovic versus Sascha Zverev. Surprisingly, the last time these guys have played was in 2023. They did not play at all last year. Djokovic leads the head-to-head 8-4. The odds for this match are Djokovic minus 165 money line, Zverev plus 135 money line. So Djokovic is a pretty solid favorite there. They're obviously giving them the edge after that huge upset over Carlos. Now he has the sportsbook's respect. The game spread is short at Novak minus 2.5 games at minus 120, and then the totals games is set at a little higher at 40.5 games, minus 125. But one bet I definitely like for this match, I think this is a lock. Both players to win a set at minus 200, because I don't know about you, but I'm expecting a good one in this one. Definitely a close
There's
contest.
no way it's straight sets. No way.
Yeah, barring obviously, physical concerns, somebody breaking down, but apparently that helps Novak. So I definitely don't see. I think Sasha,
It's
he's
not
going to
good.
rise to the moment, and I don't see Djokovic going down easy. So I love that bet.
Yeah.
But I think
Zverev's not going to break down physically. It would be the first time I've ever seen it,
yeah,
honestly.
him and Medvedev have unlimited fitness. Like they just don't get tired. I might add that point that they played last year over this clip to just show the insane rally tolerance. But I think, as you said last episode, Djokovic, the longer the point gets, the better he gets. Does Sasha have what it takes to match to this level of Djokovic? Because he definitely seems to still be on his A game here.
I mean, there's, a good reason that Zverev has the 2 by his name. Like, you know, and yes, Fritz with 4, not validated, but Zverev with 2 or 3, I feel like makes a lot of sense to me. That he's, when he plays Alcaraz or he plays Sinner, he doesn't feel outclassed. Like he's in the same league as those guys. And he is. He's the one remaining member of that, last generation that is in the same league as those guys. Like, because Rublev's not there and Berrettini, at a point we thought he would be there, but he's not. Like,
Yeah, rude. Can't blame a big
Rude,
one. And
no,
I
all
think the
those
only
all
knock on
those
Sasha right now
late 20s
is,
guys.
yeah, exactly, that whole lost generation. Throw in Stefanos in there. Um, but I think the only knock on Sasha is that he hasn't won the big one yet. He hasn't done it. And until you do it, people aren't going to believe that you can do it. I think we both believe he can do it. I think he's right in there with this matchup with Djokovic. Obviously, it's tough to go against Djokovic down under, but this is a completely different matchup than what Djokovic just played with Carlos.
Oh yeah, totally different. And I think for Zverev, if he beats Djokovic, he'll come in with a lot of belief against Sinner in the
Oh yeah.
finals, And if Djokovic wins, I have no idea what to expect in the final.
Oh
I
yeah.
really don't. That would
Yeah.
be absolutely unpredictable.
It's like, can
But
Djokovic keep raising his game after tougher and tougher and tougher test, running through this absolute gauntlet of a bracket?
yeah, it's just that hypothetically that Sinner Djokovic matchup would be insane because Sinner's kind of like Djokovic, like
He's
just on,
2.0.
no pun intended on steroids, but no, like actually has the same steady kind of game, just hits the ball 10 miles an hour harder
Yeah.
on both wings. Yeah, Djokovic Zverev, I'm going to say, oh,
It's a tough one. I don't
it
know.
is so hard. It's so
That's
hard.
why
Don't bet on
yeah.
like who's going to win or lose, in
That's
my
why I'm saying
opinion.
take both to win a set, parlay that with like Ben Shelton to win a set maybe and get some good odds. Enjoy the match because I think it's a toss up. I kind of like taking Sasha because I think it's a 50-50 match if we're being honest with him and Djokovic. I don't think there's one massive edge either side. I think it's a lot dependent how Zverev handles the big moments, how well he serves. how Djokovic bodies holds up throughout the match. I think he's going to be fine physically. But I think
Yeah,
this is
I'm gonna say Djokovic is gonna win.
oh, you're going back because last episode you said Zverev in four. I mean,
Hmm.
yeah, it's hard to
Yeah,
get it.
I'm going back.
You know,
I'm
I'm
going
a
back.
into you. What you think Novak in 4 or 5?
I think it's gonna be a five setter.
Yeah, I would
I
love
think it's
that.
gonna be the one and only, maybe not forever, but at the moment, like the five setter between Zverev and Djokovic, because you know they've both been the top five seeds, and like actually, I feel like it was weird that Zverev was like in that 2019 2020 era. Like, what was Zverev ranked? Like,
he
see,
was
he
he
was a
was like
top five.
really high ranked when he was young. He had to be at least top 10. I think he wasn't always. He was
Definitely
always
top
like
10.
yeah, he was hovering around like the 4 to 5 range. I feel like.
I feel like he was all the way up there, but
Yeah, because he wasn't quite Nadal
um,
Djokovic. He was behind Dami Thiem for a little bit. Stefanos was above him. Medvedev was like slightly above him, and he was always like never below 8, but never quite like 2 or 3 like he has been after the past year.
yeah,
And I'm a known Djokovic hater. I've grown up.
yeah, you're
I've
not
grown up.
alone.
I've grown up a Federer fan. I grew up rooting against Djokovic. He was the villain. Nadal and Federer were the heroes of the story.
I'm
You
just gonna
know,
have to go with. I'm gonna go with Djokovic winning this match, but I want Zverev to win.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's that kind of deal. But I think that Djokovic takes him in five sets, though. I think it's gonna be an amazing five setter, but Djokovic takes it.
Yeah. My prediction, because obviously I like what you said. I think Novak probably wins this, but I want Zverev to win it. I'm going Sasha in 5. I think he doesn't. If it gets down to like a fourth, fifth hour, I think you got to give a slight edge Sasha physically, mentally. You got to go Novak there, which probably is going to be the reason why he over like in the end gets over that hump and takes the match because if you had to rate who's got the clutch gene in this matchup, you would be crazy not to say Novak Djokovic. As much as I
But
don't
you're going
want this guy
Sasha.
to win, but I'm going
You're going Sasha.
Sasha. Obviously, like
Yeah.
you said, don't bet it. I would. I think both of them are going to take a set. That's the best angle I like in this match. But
Hmm.
I think Zverev he can match Djokovic. His length, the way he serves, the explosiveness on both wings. I think he holds his own just like Carlos did against Novak, but then Zverev has the discipline that Carlitos didn't display, where he is going for a little bit of a higher percentage shot tactically. He might make a couple more second serve returns, get himself into more points against Novak. I think Novak is going to have to work a lot harder to get over Sasha because he's not going to be bailed out in a couple key points that Carlos did. When Carlos got the point going, and we saw what happened in those points, they would turn into like 25 shot mega rallies that only could be ended by like God given like talent on the shot making. But I think this is a big moment for Zverev. I think he was close last
Yeah.
year, almost getting over Medvedev. I think he's primed to make the final here, to have his monster win against Novak, really cement himself as the number 2 player in the world, and
Please.
say
I'd
I'm
love to
ready to
see
win a
it.
Grand Slam because it's going to be such a bummer if Sasha loses this and then we have a bad taste going into the rest of the year. I think Novak's always going to be a competitor. He's not going to be afraid to seize the moment as we've seen throughout his entire career. But Sasha, he used to be a head case. I want to see him have a positive mentality, a positive outlook going into 2025 because him at his playing his best tennis, that raises the elite level of the game. And now instead of just waiting for a blockbuster final, every match he plays with every match Zverev plays with Sinner, every match he plays with Carlos, Novak, Medvedev, they're all going to be absolute box office. And
Yeah.
that could be me willing and wishing here because my gosh, Novak Djokovic is my boogeyman, and whenever I get my hopes up, he knows how to rip my heart out. So At this point, I'm committed to burning down with the anti-Djokovic ship, and he's going to take me, drag me down to hell with it. So I'm here.
Yeah,
Novak, prove me wrong again. I'm sure you will, but I got to go for my boy Sasha here in
we'll
five.
see what happens. I think
But
Medvedev also, in related news, he has some serious work to do to get himself back in that conversation because right now I don't view him on the same tier as those four.
yeah, we need to make a running tier list, I think, going through this year of just
Like
who's in that league.
Fritz
We
is
can move
like
it up and down.
Fritz is like number 12 for me.
Yeah, Fritz
Fritz is
had such
number 12 in the worlds.
a bad taste this tournament. He was supposed to be the cruise control to the semifinals. He was supposed to be his chance against Sinner, and now we see a young American Ben Shelton take that chance from him. And now, he's got the hugely positive perspective. He's now the future of American tennis. Ben Shelton.
It's
He's only
like
20, he's
wait, it's like
22.
wait, yeah, it's like what does Fritz have that Shelton doesn't have? And Fritz is number 4.
One final.
Shelton looks more excited. Yeah, the U.S. Open final. I know, great draw, right? But like seriously, Shelton is, I don't know. He might not have as refined of a game as Fritz. Maybe
Yeah,
he does now. Last year he didn't.
yeah.
Um, but like Shelton is a guy I can get behind, and
He's way
Fritz.
more exciting.
I'm not going to be a Fritz fan. It's not even about like just being exciting. It's about being just like Fritz is so beatable. Like
Yeah.
I just know it. Like
I don't think Fritz
anyone
has.
that is number 14 in the world is like I could easily beat number 4 Taylor Fritz. Like
Yeah, he's a beatable, like,
compared
high seed.
to who's number 5 or who's number 6 or who's number 2 or 3 or whatever. Like he's an outlier that I feel like he doesn't belong at number 4.
I agree.
Results don't lie, but
We're gonna
Fritz should
find out.
be number 10.
We're gonna find out this year, though. We're gonna see if Ben has the higher ceiling than Taylor, and we're gonna find out soon who is in the Australian Open final. If you
Mm.
guys have been enjoying our content, we're going to the road to 1,000 subscribers. So please drop a like, subscribe, help us support the channel. We're gonna keep growing. We're gonna keep doing these all year. Try to get the Double Fault family growing even more. So thank you everyone for listening, and let's go watch some tennis tonight.